Good evening, folks. I am tbhamsc, bringing you yet another game from r/castit. We'll explain that later because we got some interesting things going on. So I'm going to go ahead and introduce our two players here in the top right. In blue, playing Protoss, he is a barcode player, but this is NeXiuS. And his opponent in the bottom left, our red Terran player. He has one name in game, but this is going to be Avilo. Alright, so NeXiuS already sitting on an early probe here. Likely going to be going for some sort of proxy gate play at least. He could try to go into the base prior to an SCV actually getting out and seeing that, but that's going to be a little bit too dangerous. So NeXiuS is going to go ahead and throw down his pylon and assume eventually a gateway outside of the base. This is going to kind of depend on if Avilo is going to actually build off an actual wall here. Not sure what that little probe was trying to do. That's going to depend if he's actually going to build an entire wall here immediately. A lot of Terrans will build their first depot and then build their barracks somewhere closer to their command center, just for that extra safety from something like an early mothership's core and stalker push. And yeah, that's indeed going to be the case. Avilo going to be throwing down his first barracks behind inside of his actual base rather than sitting on this wall. So he's not going to be able to have an early wall. So an early zealot could do a bit of work, but this may not be even mattering because Avilo is going to scout out. He's got a probe. He's going to catch that first gateway. He's going to be able to prepare for this as best as he possibly can. Luckily for NeXiuS, I suppose, he hasn't put a ton of effort into this. He's already building a pylon back home. He has a gasp as well. He's croning out workers. Looks like the gateway isn't finished yet, so I have to see if he starts to do anything. But wall is going to be completed with depots by these two SCVs here. So early zealots aren't going to be able to do too much. Avilo also has some gas up already, so he's going to be able to have a Reaper out as well, just a micro against if it was going to be an early zealot somehow getting inside of this wall. But as it stands now, the wall is finished off. First Marine on the way. Probe is stuck inside right now. Actually, there are two SCVs stuck outside, so Avilo's going to lowers that wall for a moment, brings SCVs in, Probe gets out. So for the time being, neither player has lost anything. Avilo has had to make these two extra depots very early, and also wasn't able to get out in the first Reaper as fast as he would like to, so he's not able to figure out exactly the follow-up here. And NeXiuS isn't going for any zealot out of this gateway at all. He's just going ahead and kind of abandoning this for the time being, letting his cybercore finish up. He may actually go for a stalker. He's going for a mothership core instead, actually. Realizing he's not going to have any units back home to actually defend, he's going to use his first 100 gas for that mothership core. The first Reaper is going to be moving across the map here in a moment. Once it does finish up, the SCV as well will be able to figure out that there isn't really anything actually in the main base here. Looks like NeXiuS is actually probably going to go for a really quick expansion, but Avilo getting in, he may be able to block it, but no, just not quite going to be in the right spot for that. So despite this early gate here, there's not going to be not going to be too much out. Mothership core will be able to deny this bunker attempt here by Avilo, so Avilo's going to have to sit home. He's going to take out this pylon in the gateway eventually, but pylon down, that means that there are 0 gateways on the field right now, and the mothership core is going to be the only army unit right now for NeXiuS. That's why Avilo was trying to make this bunker actually over at the base of NeXiuS rather than back home. He wanted to be able to get aggressive, knowing that his opponent isn't going to have really anything at all in his base, especially at this point of the game. Stance, both players are expanding. Expansion coming up on the high ground here. A second gas on the way as well for Avilo to establish one bunker and a factory on the way. Reactor already finished on those barracks, so he's getting a good number of Marines pretty quickly here. Reaper scouting out, just making sure there's not any more proxy shenanigans going on. When your opponent does proxy, there's a pretty good chance he's going to continue doing something scary, greedy, or proxy-like, just to kind of fall back on after that kind of original plan here from NeXiuS wasn't going to work. Reaper and Probe are going to pass each other, but the Reaper does not see the Probe, which is actually really nice here for NeXiuS. That means he's going to have a Probe on the map that's going to be able to build some more units, and that Reaper was already over on this side, so he's probably not going to scout that again for a while. He will be able to get into the main base with this Reaper, scout out what is actually coming here, but first couple stalkers are on the way being croned out, trying to get some units out as it is still on this mothership core. The stalker will pop out and force the Reaper to get out, and actually the mothership core could try to catch this, but I really don't think it's going to happen. Reapers are slippery as heck. A decent amount of micro there by Avilo. He's going to be able to get away from the Reaper, no problem, but surprise, surprise, we got 2 Stargates coming in now. So said earlier, this Reaper, it's a good thing he did get out. He still does need to start scouting, but I'm not sure if NeXiuS is even going to allow that. He could come to this watchtower, and once he gets to the watchtower, he's going to find where the Reaper is and probably go attack that and try to clean that up. Make sure that scouting is going to be extremely difficult. Reaper should die off. One more shot. Actually, it will get a gateway once again. Avilo, slippery Reapers. Always nice. Always nice with you having these Reapers here, but now we have 2 Stargates coming. There are Widow Mines. There is one Widow Mine already finished up, a second Widow Mine on the way. Engineering Bay is up as well, and a turret even, so... Well, Avilo should be okay if this was going to be like 2 Oracles, but it's probably going to be Void Rays. Yeah, we're having Void Rays coming. There's a really good chance that NeXiuS can go for a really strong sort of bust play with those Void Rays and with a strong number of gateway units. Avilo's going to get back into the main base area with this Reaper and try to scout out any sort of tech, and I think when he gets in here and sees there still isn't any tech, that should be a little frightening to him. He's having to deal with a couple Stalkers out front right now, but still seeing absolutely nothing in the base right now. He does see the robo facility, so that could kind of lull him into a false sense of security. Thinking, okay, you're going Robotech, you're just really far behind because you went for this quick expansion after doing your early gateway proxy that didn't work. But hopefully he will go scout it eventually. Because our 2 Void Rays finished already. Another 2 are on the way, but there's a drop moving across the map. And what is there back home? The Mothership Core is back home, which is nice. It's going to have overcharges. It's going to have 2 overcharges available for both bases. A couple Stalkers going to be moving in as well, but still only the 1 Gateway Twilight Council coming in. With really only the 1 Gateway to actually make units. In no detection right now, I imagine we're going to see a really fast observer, I would hope, knowing, I'm pretty sure NeXiuS knows that there is a Widow Mine. But this drop is already coming in. It does have a Widow Mine. There are some Marines in that medevac as well. Going to get directly into the mineral line. How quick is NeXiuS going to be able to actually respond to this? Widow Mine is out in burrows, but I don't think it's going to get any shots off. It does not. Actually, it's going to kill. It's going to get 1, so that's nice. And now, actually, this pylon, the pylon is the only thing powering this robo facility. That means there's going to be no detection for a lot longer period of time now. NeXiuS is put into his main base for a while, but that does not matter because he has 4 Rays in the main base of Avilo. Taking out some tech structures, took out 1 add-on here. Looks like he's a little bit surprised. I would be too. You kind of think you protect against some things? No, suddenly there's 4 Void Rays in your bases. Factory gonna die off here at the very least. A couple SCVs getting killed off, full turrets getting shot as well, and now, NeXiuS has a really nice advantage. Kills off yet another turret. Mass repair going on this turret. That needs to stay alive. He does micro back 1 of the hurt Void Rays. Now the Marines are here to help out. And these Void Rays are going to get out scot-free. And they're going to have another 2 joining him as well. So, yeah. Interesting situations for both players. Widow Mine does still exist in the main mineral line here of Avilo. He's going to go, or of NeXiuS, excuse me. He's going to go take the shot with his probe. And now he's going to be able to go ahead and take that out nice and easy. However, 6 Void Rays now. 6 Void Rays are pretty scary. There are a lot of turrets about to finish up, as well as a good number of Marines that do not have stim, however. They don't even have combat shield. They do have +1, which is nice. 1 Void Ray which barely does not go down. Nice control here from NeXiuS. He's trying to get what he can. Kills off the medevac, which is also very, very nice. I think he did lose... No, yes, he did lose 1 Void Ray there so far, but resources lost right now. Almost 2,000. For Avilo, only 1,000 lost, not even 1,000 lost right now for NeXiuS, so he's taking a nice lead and kind of realizing that he's going to take a 3rd base behind all of this ridiculous kind of aggression. Avilo trying to get into this bio playstyle, which he's not known for really at all, so it's kind of surprising seeing that come from him, given how often he will play mech, and he's not afraid to play mech against a Protoss, that is for sure. But I think kind of given the situation and how this game has been going, he was forced to go into Vile. A lot of bunkers are here in the main and the natural mineral line. Avilo definitely does not love the 3rd bases here. If he knew the 3rd was there, he would not be putting up this many bunkers. He's got a ton of turrets. There's such a huge ring of turrets right now around his base, pushing away these Void Rays pretty much constantly, but I don't think NeXiuS really cares. Void Rays are pretty beefy. They don't have any upgrades, which is okay, but it doesn't really matter when they're forcing your opponent to stay inside of his own base. Meanwhile, behind all of this, Blink is on the way for our Protoss player. He's got +1 on the way finally. He's gotten some more gateways finished up. He's actually getting some immortals as well. Yeah, this is looking kind of nice here for NeXiuS at the moment. He's got 47 workers. They are tied in workers right now. However, this is a third base. We got a third base up already right now. Once this economy starts to kick in, that's going to be a big deal for the Protoss player. Stim just now finishing up. Combat Shield will be finishing up shortly thereafter. We do have a reactor on the starport, so that is nice. We'll be able to finally get some an actual decent medevac count, because right now he is only on 2. 2 medevacs is not where you want to be at this stage of the game, and Voiders are probably looking to get in here and pick off a medevac, but wouldn't mind all these turrets. That's going to say, hey, you should probably get out of here. Stim as well, and looks like Avilo's going to try to chase down these Voiders, and they're not going to get out of here. All these Voiders are going to die off, so nice pick up there by Avilo. It's a lot of resources, a lot of tech that just got killed off. However, good thing for NeXiuS, he wasn't focusing on going for that tech for the entire game, but now that's a whole lot of stim bile moving across the map. They do have +1/+1. There are only 2 medevacs, so that's not a lot, but there is a Viking. There are some Widow Mines with this as well, and only Stalkers. They do have Blink. They don't have any upgrades. One Viking's going to go down. Maybe you should be able to pick off that Widow Mine. Just pick off the Widow Mine, which will be nice. But now we just have a bunch of stim bio against some Immortals and some Stalkers, which they do have Blinks. This is going to have a lot of micros going to come out from our Protoss player. Overcharge goes down on the natural NeXiuS, and Avilo probably wants to get out of here. Maybe go for the third base even. Putting his Widow Mines in a decent position. It's going to force NeXiuS to take a shot from a Widow Mine, maybe just blink into one. He does have an observer, so he's able to see it, but now this third base is under a lot of fire. That's going to go down extremely fast. How many probes is NeXiuS going to lose right now? He's already lost 4, but now this Bio Force is completely sandwiched. They're not going to get out of here. Nice blinks coming from NeXiuS. He's controlling this pretty well. All of this Bio army is getting killed off. There's just no bio left. One Widow Mine shot goes off, but that Widow Mine shot actually killed one of the medevacs. So, yeah, that wasn't the greatest of shots for Avilo. Not anything he wanted to happen. All these, there's a few Vikings. Obviously, all these Vikings. How many Vikings? There's 2 Vikings. All these Vikings aren't doing anything, but there's only 2 of them, so it's not that many. Aggressive blink forward, going for some medevacs. Does get one more of the medevacs. If there's a few SCVs with this army, actually, that's still it's not nearly enough bile to go against. If it is only Stalkers, it's still only Stalkers and lots of numbers. That's a little ridiculous. A little bit of, well, let's not call it friendly, but a little bit of banter coming out here from the Protoss players, realizing he's quite ahead. He's not as ahead as he thinks he is, I don't think, at the moment. And we get to the worker count, it is pretty vastly in his favor, but tearing the power of mules, the power of the worker pull. SCVs going off the line, going for this army. That is a lot of medevacs. That's a lot of medevacs healing. This is 2-1 bile versus 1-0-0 Protoss army. It's trading as best as he possibly can, but now he is down to 35 workers. Where did the workers go for? Was there a drop? Was there a Widow Mine? There must be something that has been happening over here, because there's a lot of workers that suddenly died off for the Protoss player. No, I'm looking at the wrong number. I'm absolutely insane. These numbers up here. The A means army supply. Workers is a W. I'm a genius. Anyway, 59 workers to 20. So the point that I thought I was trying to make before I actually lost my eyesight was correct. There are Widow Mines, which is going to be a bit annoying, but a little bit of blink away from that. So no damage taken. Nicely done there by NeXiuS. Continuing to put on the pressure here. There's a really pretty massive wall right now. It's still a beefy stim bio army with enough medevac support. Yeah, he's going to want to wait for more units, more upgrades on his own units before NeXiuS tries to actually finish this army off. RoboBay coming up behind this, a second forge as well. Just not a whole lot of income right now from the Protoss player. He does have 3 bases, which is nice. He's got the 64 workers, so a decent saturation on these bases. Losing the base, he lost a few workers earlier, was a bit of an issue, but now, once again, just kind of continually trying to press forward, but taking that Widow Mine shot was a huge deal. All the shields are off most of those Stalkers, and now Avilo's going to get aggressive with a little bit of army that he does have. The army supplies are actually in favor of our Terran player, which is a very nice pickup right now for Avilo. Having that army supply advantage, not to mention the upgrade advantage, still 2-2 is already finished, +3 is on the way for his bio. He's going to be able to posture out on the map, but the problem is he's got no third base. He's not going to have a third base for a long time. He's got 2 mineral patches here in his main base. There's only like 6 mineral patches here in the natural, and those are almost gone as well. No third base on the map yet for Avilo. At some point, he's probably going to pull his SCVs and just kind of go for this. I said that he does pull a good chunk of those SCVs, and he's going to have to get some damage done. However, 2 Colossus at a time on the way. Extended Thermal Lance is going to be finishing up, but I don't think it'll be finished up by the time this Bile rolls in here. And now the Bile is going to get on drop right on top of all these Stalkers. Stalkers blink away from that. They're trying to buy some time for these Colossus to get out. Now this Protoss army is split up. There's a lot of Stalkers on one side and only a couple of these Colossus on the other. Avilo doing what he can. Still an even army supply. One Colossus gets sniped down very, very quickly. Army supply staying very, very even. Decent blinks coming out here from a Protoss player, keeping most of those alive. And another Colossus, it looks like that may have been actually a baiting Colossus, trying to force that Bio army to go for that Colossus and just pulling him to a worse position. More and more of the army is dropping here for Avilo. He does have a good amount that is rallying across the map. There's still some SCVs chilling in the middle of the map right now. But now he's got to deal with all of these Stalkers. He's got to deal with this Colossus. Another Colossus does go down, which is another big pickup. But 2 more are about to join in its place. And NeXiuS, despite this upgrade disadvantage, that's a ton of medevacs. Look how many medevacs this guy has. He's got 10 medevacs right now. 1 more Colossus pops out. It's in kind of an awkward position. It's going to get sniped off immediately. Let's see, where is the other Colossus coming from? Not really sure, because that's not going to matter. Probably from this point, it's not going to matter too much. One more Colossus has finished. The range has finished as well. That's a big deal. Got +2, +1 finished up for the Protoss. He's about to get +3 for his attack as well. 55 supply down now for Avilo. 88 supply for the Protoss player. He's still on his 3 bases. He's still got this economy just rolling. All he needs are just some warp ins. He's going to start warping in. He's still getting 2 Colossus at a time along with everything else that's going on right now. 23 workers back home here for Avilo. Only a few mules really left over. There's not much he can really do with this. The SCV's trying to join the pain train, but the pain train includes a bunch of SCVs and 3 Marauders and a couple of Marines. That is not going to cut it. Yeah. NeXiuS knows. He knows he's won at this point. 98 supply to 40, 38 even at the moment. Eventually, there we go. There is the end of the game. So GG for our Protoss player NeXiuS here. You will take this game. This was a ladder match. I didn't even get to introduce anything because of how weird that game went on. No matter. This was from r/castit. I am tbham. Follow my YouTube, or subscribe I should say. Follow my Twitch, twitch.tv/tbham. I do a lot of casting on there. I've got a few events coming up I will be casting on there, including an invitational tournament I will be running sometime in June. Keep a lookout for that. And yeah, thanks for watching.